tells us that we have not because we ask not. So we ask today that our joy and your joy may be full. Support Worship Center Radio by going to www.worshipcenterradio.net, and on the right side, click the Donate Now area. Send your love offering that we may continue to broadcast throughout the world and to bring programming that elevates you to the next level in God. We have put the Great Commission given to us by our Lord Jesus in action. We thank you in advance for your financial support.
Thank you for listening to Worship Center Radio, Detroit's #1 for the gospel.
From Detroit to the nations, you are listening to the world's #1 Christian station, Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Howard, and welcome to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. Today, our program is going to be a little different, for we're going to pay tribute to the victims of the massacre in Paris, France. Our prayers go out to the family and all those that are affected. It is understood that 129 people are deceased, were casualties of that, and a total of one American. We had 352 injured. Those numbers are changing, but we certainly here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way and Worship Center Radio pay tribute to those, and we're in prayer for healing of all the affected persons. We'll be right back after this. I just going by what I see here. Then you're going to go into the Lord's Prayer. I wanted to go right into the Lord's Prayer. Did the flag ever come up? Oh, it's all right. I'll give you one more shot to put it up. When we come back, I will talk about it. 7 people bring the flag up as I finish, and we're going to the next thing. Okay, that's right. Fade out and go to the song, the Lord's Prayer. My face isn't showing. Good afternoon, I'm Anthony Howard. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. And we're here at Worship Center Radio in downtown Detroit, and we collectively, Gospel Music the Traditional Way and Worship Center Radio, pay tribute to the It wasn't finished, I don't think. Hello, I'm Anthony Howard. You're tuned in to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. We're paying tribute here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way in Worship Center Radio to the victims in that really sad act, that dreadful act in Paris, France. Today, we do have guests in the studio, but we're going to focus on this for just a few minutes, and I appreciate our guests being understanding that I believe all media is recognizing what has transpired. And we want you to know that it is true that in Christ there is no east or west. The President of the United States mentioned that France, Paris, they've been partners with the U.S. They're like brothers and sisters. And even when you look at the flags, minus the stars, but they have the same colors, red, white, and blue, in a different order, but it's okay. Still, there's a certain kinship to all of that. And it is accurate that those of us as Christians, as decent people, that we are certainly feeling the impact of what has transpired, and it is proper, it is appropriate that we respect what has happened and draw light to it and let the world know that we really, really are in prayer for healing over this entire event. So let us pause once again and just play something. In Christ there is no east or west. We'll be right back after that. In this program to the country of France. We want you to know that we here in the United States, and those of us here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way, we're in it with you, and we're lifting you up in prayer. For in Christ there is no east or west, in him no north or south. You can give us a call here in the studio at 248-796-8241. We'd love to hear from you. You can talk about this, but we also have guests in the studio. Yes, we have a couple of very fine actors in the studio and actress. You want to meet them. One of them was even in the movie Batman. So yes, remember that one of the reasons why I use the term gospel, it's not just about the music, it's about the good news. And we all know that the Word of God means good news. The Word of God means gospel. So it's good news, and it's a good thing to have different people celebrating with you, no matter what it's about. We have a good time here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way. So after this next selection, and remember, you can give us a call, 248-796-8241. After this next selection, I'm going to be joined in the studio by a couple of very fine people. You want to meet them? We'll be right back after. This is a tremendous choir. I must tell you, I was a part of the ministry of it, simply titled Lord of the Dance is the song. Now, you all may have seen the play and all of that, but I remember the song when I learned it as a child, Lord of the Dance. This choir is formed up by a huge choir from the United Methodist Church. It is it is the Renaissance District Mass Choir, actually, of the United Methodist Church. Lord of the Dance. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Anthony Howard, and welcome back. You notice that I'm joined in the studio with Jamie Karagasopoulos and Alex Alejandro. Now, if I didn't say it right,
Alejandro. It's fine. Alejandro Frank.
yes. Okay. There, you heard it. Alejandro Frank. You know, one of the biggest honors you could give someone is to say their name correctly. As I mentioned, we have fun here. How are you all?
Very well, thank
Doing
you.
well, Anthony. Pleasure to be here.
Yes. Listen, Jamie, tell us what it is that you're doing.
I am a local voice actor.
Okay.
Yes.
And tell us some of what all you've done and some of what you want to do.
Well, I'm actually new to the profession. Just, getting my feet wet. And so I've done a few commercials. And, hopefully, I'd like to kind of take that a step further. And I would love to do animation someday. I was an educator for a long time, and I just loved, reading aloud to children. And something that I would just love to do is, animation in the future, and see where that takes me.
Really? So, preparing for a voice role, is it similar to preparing for a film role?
You are acting with your voice. So, of course, you're not always going to be physically visible. Voice actors, use their talent to do, various commercials, movies with, like I mentioned, animation. It could be different commercials on the radio, television. So I think with being an actor where you're on stage or you're actually in the film industry, there's probably a little more that goes into that art. But with voice acting, it's all just, the voice.
So, and Alex, we're going to get to you in just a second, but I must ask the question that how do you just read it and read the punctuations? Does that mean you're an English major and when you see an exclamation point, you go, ah!
Well, what I've learned as a voice actor, it's definitely important to have, be able to inflect my voice, to get into character, making the character come alive through my voice. So yes, of course, being able to read fluently is important, and being able to know how to, grammatically, express my voice. And yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
It is a lot of fun, yes.
Yes, because you see, I just had fun. I just was reading something and I saw that mark and it just made me want to, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Alex.
Hey, what's going on?
Tell us more about what you've done.
Okay, so I too am kind of new to the industry, like Jamie, but my focus is more on films. And I know Michigan has a lot of incentives for major films to be shot here.
Okay.
I have been in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and that comes out next year, 2016.
Wow.
I was a stand-in for that movie. Basically, a stand-in is required to stand in for the actor, so I'm pretty much somebody's double.
Okay.
I stand in and the camera crew makes sure the lighting is right, the camera angles are set, and then when that's all set, I'm booted off stage, and then the actor comes in and takes my spot.
Oh.
So I've done that, and I was an extra too before for another film.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's really interesting. I learned something today that you go on to the set, and they're getting the set prepared for the star, if you will, or the lead actor.
Right.
But they're using you to help them with the lighting and camera angles and all of that.
Yes, because it takes a lot of time. It takes maybe like an hour or two to set up the scene.
Yes.
And they need somebody that looks like the actor that can stand in that position, and do what the actor's doing while the actor is rehearsing.
So the actor, do they usually immediately, well, I guess they have to immediately follow you because it's all been set up. It's not just a matter of them marking a sheet that says the lighting is at this in that. Is that correct?
Yep. We go back and forth for the scene, on and off. In my case, I was only working on one scene, which took 3 days. So
That is amazing. Well, now you know why your tickets are $15 to go see a show.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's really why I got involved. Just networking and meeting people in the industry. That's kind of why I'm in it. You know, whether it's being an extra or modeling or interning, I would love to just be part of a film.
One of the really interesting things about it all, I often say, you don't network, you work the net. You work the net. Because, and I share that with people because it's, as they say, it's better for people to know you than for you to know people. Because when you need to get something done, I could say that I know a fella named Gus all day long. But if Gus doesn't know me, what am I going to get done? So it is so important that you work the net. You get folks to know you and to know what you're about, so that they can respond in kind. So for both of you, how do you market your skills? How do you actually job search in an industry such as that?
Well, Michigan has a few agencies that are based here, and so I sort of look through those. One of them is Real Style Casting, and they have helped me out a lot. And then there are a lot of agencies in California too. They come out here when they're shooting movies, and they put a casting call online or on the newspaper, and then you just sort of have to look through those and see what you can find.
I don't have it right now, but I'm going to share with you an agency that I'm affiliated with that may be helpful to you. Just remind me next week to get it to you. And they specialize in finding actors and actresses work. So I'm going to share that with you. And I'm going to pause for just a quick second to say that some of you all had logged in. You was anxious to be a part or to enjoy this Thanksgiving special. Well, unfortunately, we had to refit the program. The tragedies that happened abroad, and we just decided that it's a better time to appreciate the order of the day. And so at another time, we'll bring up a special program. And I know you're looking forward to the Wolfgang Puck restaurants and all that stuff. Do know, though, that Wolfgang Puck Enterprises is an affiliate of mine. So them having an affiliation with me, I support the restaurant highly. As a matter of fact, yes, I'm going to give you a commercial. You can log on to my website, www.Howard's Place Mall. Go to the Home Goods section, and there you will find Wolfgang Puck, and you'll find many of his products. We're going to bring them back, and are we going to go there? They even offered, extended a hand to say, hey, maybe you can come to the restaurant. That's almost better yet, because I can taste dinner right now. We're going to be right back with more from Jamie and Alex. Can I call you Alex?
Yeah.
Alejandro. We're going to be right back after you brought the sunshine. They brought the sunshine.
Stand up back.
Hello, I'm Anthony Howard, and welcome once again to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. I'm joined in the studio by two of Michigan's finest, actress Jamie Karagasopoulos, and then we have Alejandro Franks. And how are you all once again?
Very well, thank you.
You know, we're having a good time. Tell me, how could one go from being an educator to an actress?
Well, I have always been drawn to the entertainment world, and I just never had the courage to really pursue that dream. And so I chose education because I've always adored children and working with them, and I always wanted to do something in my life where I would make a difference. So I decided, you know what, why not teach? And I was a teacher for 10 years, and I loved it. Great experience. I made amazing relationships with a lot of people, but it just came to a point where I thought, you know what, it's time to close this chapter and move on. And I stumbled upon voiceover. I discovered a class that was being offered in my local community, and I thought, you know what, why not? This is my chance. And I took the class, and I just loved what it was all about. And I was fortunate enough to record a demo, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And I'm just, hoping and praying that this new journey in my life will take me somewhere.
I'm sure it will. I could feel your excitement, and I'm sure that those that are watching and do know that we are heard around the world. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give a quick shout out to a very fine lady over in Germany that sent me a message, and her name is CVO. So you can give us a call. I know that we are like 12 hours difference, but any of you all can give us a call, 248-796-8241. You can give us a call. You can ask these very fine guests in our studio today some questions, but we're heard all over the world. And remember, we air every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m., Gospel Music the Traditional Way, live on Worship Center Radio. How did you make... Oh, wait a minute. You see, we are live, so I could just be as crazy as I want to be, and I can't take it back. I will tell you a little something about me. That as when I was in high school, we had a par excellence drama department. It was down in New Albany, Indiana. So those of you all that are in Indiana, I went to New Albany High, and we had a par excellence drama department, and I played a doctor. I was an actor. I played a doctor in a stage play titled The Happy Time. And so I learned a little bit of French. Alex, your turn. So tell me, how did you arrive at being an actor?
Well, like Jamie, I've always been interested in entertainment, so I sort of started pursuing that a little bit at a time. So after high school, I would say that I really got into just looking at casting calls online.
Okay.
And that's when Casting Associates picked me up for Oz the Great and Powerful, which starred James Franco and Mila Kunis. So that was fun, and then you kind of get addicted to, the work and the production.
Yes.
And I went from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I tell you that there seems to be so many opportunities in Michigan. And yes, I remember when they were filming so many movies. I lived downtown Detroit at the time when they filmed Red Dawn. And it's amazing how they could transform a building to look like something totally different. Because I'm going to tell one of their secrets. They turned the parking garage into a police station. But you would never know that. That's in the movie Red Dawn. So, it's really amazing that so much of the film industry has made its way to the city of Detroit in recent years.
Would agree. Downtown Detroit, I know, has been featured in a lot of movies. So I know Transformers, the train station was used there, and then they're just always looking for unique buildings, and the people here are great to work with. So they should continue the incentives, I think.
Yes, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent for a second. One of the interesting things about Michigan and Detroit is that our architecture is so different than in many other cities. Even in the housing, you can go in some of the basic houses here and find Pewabic tile and other wonderful decorations, or creativity and auctions, artwork, all kinds of things that are in the houses and in the buildings in the state of Michigan. So I can see why the filming industry is so interested in this area. There are many architectural gems.
I agree.
And the talent in this town is not just musicians. There's so many celebrated actors in this area, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we have a lot to offer. And I really think that our city has come a long way, and it's continuing to progress in many ways.
I agree. And you can also see Alex. He is also featured on my website, Howard's Place Mall. Go to the men's department, the sports section, and you'll find Alex modeling there. That's howardsplacemall.com. So we really have I'm being possessive now. I have some extraordinary talent here. What do you all think about the auto show? It's fastly approaching.
It is. Lots of opportunities there too. So I'm really looking forward to the auto show. A lot of the automobile companies are going to be in town, and that's always just a great way to meet new people and see if you can get involved in commercials or whatever it is that they need. So.
Yeah. That is one of the really interesting things, is contacting the head of the Automobile Association. And you never know, because many dealerships at that time are really advertising and they want people to participate in their advertisements. So they want to draw you in. They want to draw you into the auto show, and from the auto show to their dealership. And so it's nothing like having two really attractive people representing their dealership. So, do you all belong to a union? Is there a specialized union that you must join to act in this area?
You don't have to belong to a union, but there are unions for, I know for the film industry, especially if you have speaking roles. But me, I haven't really worked with the union for this.
And there's unions for voice actors as well, and that's something that I'm kind of exploring, but I'm not a part of a union.
Okay. Now, I was just at a conference, and one of the presenters of the conference was a board member of the Federation of Musicians. I'm not sure if what he said would carry over to an Actors Guild, but I think it may. He was mentioning that belonging to the union, it allows your name to go into a database. And so oftentimes when they're looking for various participants, people with special talents, they contact the union first to try to draw from their constituency. And that would be one of the benefits, I would imagine, joining a union.
Absolutely. You put your name out there. People,
Yes.
get to know you.
And aside from the name, just the health benefits and the other benefits that goes along with being a part of the union, because you can access their databases and find what movies are being filmed, and it's just a myriad of things that goes along. And I don't work for the union, by the way. Nothing wrong with it, but I do know that there are some advantages to belonging to these creative unions. There used to be a union, well, that was different. I was thinking of the Communicating Arts Credit Union. That's different. You can give us a call, 248-796-8241. We're going to pause and we'll come back once again with Jamie and Alex. We'll be right back. I'm Anthony Howard, and welcome once again to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. Today, we've dedicated our program to the victims of Paris, France. We here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way and Worship Center Radio, we collectively are in prayer. We're in prayer for healing. We're in prayer for comfort. We are aware that over 129 people have lost their lives, including one American. 352 or more have been injured. You know, it's just amazing that that someone could conduct these kind of acts. There are 99 people that are still in critical condition. These are just astounding numbers, folks, and we need to pray. The American who was killed was a 23-year-old student studying abroad, and it's just we just have to pray and pray for these people. It's not just a matter of us praying for ourselves. We got to pray for other folks. It really doesn't matter your faith. All of us can pray together. This program does not represent Baptist, Church of God in Christ, Methodist. This is a program that represents the people, and we bring you information that is appropriate for everybody. And just to sidestep this for a quick second, a good example is you rarely see me. I'm gonna sidestep this for a quick second. You rarely see me with a little piece of a beard, but this is No Shave Month. It brings awareness to cancer. So men are asked to not shave for the month of November so that they can use that money they would spend on grooming to contribute it to a cancer foundation. So we're here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way to bring you various information. And back to the original statements regarding what has happened in Paris, I was looking on the news, and it was just telling us so much about it, that the attackers wore identical vests, suicide vests, as they fanned out across the city Friday night, and they were targeting the National Stadium, a concert hall, bars, and restaurants. And so you don't know where you're going to be safe these days. You just have to stay prayed up. And when you stay prayed up, you all right. All you can do, that's all you can do, is just ask the Lord to put his arms of protection around you. So once again, we extend our condolences out to the people of Paris, France, and the world. Here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way, you can give us a call at 248-796-8241. We're going to go back to the Lord's Prayer. We'll be right back. You tuned in to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. I'm Anthony Howard. We're going to get back to our guests in the studio, but first, just a couple of quick announcements. Today, we held a hugely successful 21st Century Music Summit. This was held by Fellowship of Music and Arts and the music, the ministry, the business. We had board members from the Association of Musicians, Al McKenzie, and financial advisors, Mr. Lawrence Crawford, Vice President, Financial Advisor for Primerica, and many other really, really world-renowned musicians, Joe Smith, Derek Starks, and another very fine musician, Jay Moss. These are people that have traveled the world. Bishop Andre Woods is the chairperson. Gregory Pearson was the summit chairperson. So it was really a successful event, and we're looking to do more. We're going to be bringing to you Gospel Goes to the Symphony once again. We're working on that. We're going to be working on bringing music back in the schools. So there's a number of things in 2016 we plan to accomplish. There will be other workshops and concerts and other things that continues to bring good music to the world. Also, the Gospel Music of America's Women Division, the Detroit chapter, presents Christmas musical featuring the Detroit Chapter Women's Choir. That's Sunday, December the 6th, 2015 at 4 p.m. That's at El Bethel Baptist Church, 25295 Grand River Avenue. That's in Redford. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Glass is the host pastor with special guests, Testimony Sings, and the Detroit Metropolitan Youth Ensemble. Oh boy, this is going to be something. Now there is a ticket donation, reserved seating $20, general admission $10, and they're available at www.gospelmusic.org. And you can get them from any member of the Gospel Music Workshop of America, but you can purchase tickets at www.gmwadetroit.org. Now, let me also let you know that I'm hosting a Christmas sing-along. That is the Saturday before Christmas at Mount Hope United Methodist Church. And I'll give you more details next week and the following weeks leading up to the sing-along. All are invited, and we're just doing traditional Christmas carols. I'm going to be playing, so you can come and hear me play. And this is going to be at Mount Hope United Methodist Church. So you also know that dinner is served immediately following. We're going to be feeding the needy. Now, you can come as well and enjoy a dinner with us, break bread with us. We're going to have a really good time at Mount Hope United Methodist Church. Just some traditional Christmas carols. Also, Cass Community Social Services, the Ambassadors for Christ choir will be there. You all know Reverend Faith Fowler. She is certainly a pillar of philanthropy in the community. So do come out and support us. Finally, you can sow a seed. You can contribute to this broadcast, Gospel Music the Traditional Way, by simply logging on to www.theinetwork.net. That's THE, the letter I, network.net. My former pastor used to say, we want to stay on the air till the Lord comes back in the air. But we need your help, or we need your support. There's a number of things that sowing a seed can help us do. And so you do want to just help us out a little bit. You'll see a button at the bottom of the page where you can just contribute whatever amount you would like. I appreciate my guests being so patient while I go through these announcements. You can give us a call at 248-796-8241. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
They were really patient through all of that, right? So what are you all doing for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Oh, It's just spending time with family. My husband and I come from large families. We come from large Greek families, I should say.
Ah.
Yes, and so just spending a lot of quality time with our loved ones and just being in the moment and appreciating everything that we're grateful for.
Now you heard that, a large Greek family. Listen, you want some food now. I know where to go. Alex.
Same here, spending a lot of time with my family. I think my mom is cooking Thanksgiving, so I'm going to head over there. And Christmas, I'll be at my mom's again. So
What's she cooking? What's her favorite dishes?
she's Ecuadorian, so I'm Ecuadorian. A lot of fried foods and rice, but for Thanksgiving we're going to do the traditional turkey and stuffing and, mashed potatoes. You're welcome to come over.
Thank you. So tell me, well, now, I just had to be more provocative now because I like to learn stuff. So what is Ecuadorian cuisine?
Ecuadorian, they have a lot of seafood and barbecue. So I guess a lot of shrimp, fish, barbecue, and like I said, they eat a lot of rice over there.
So they barbecue the shrimp and the fish and things like that?
Yeah.
And do they serve it atop the rice?
Yeah. With they like a lot of cilantro, so cilantro, lemon, things like that. It's really good.
Wow.
Sounds delicious.
It's very good.
Now, Jamie, this is real food now. Forget about acting. I'm ready to eat. Tell me, are you a cook?
I do cook. Yes, I love to cook. My parents owned a restaurant for many years, and so I grew up in the restaurant business, and I just grew to just love good food, and my mother is an amazing cook.
Ah.
Yes, and so I've learned a lot from her and watching her over the years.
Now, if my mother is listening, I want you to call and give us one of your favorite dishes that you're prepared for Thanksgiving, 248-796-8241. Any of the mothers can call and share with us a Thanksgiving dish. And while I'm speaking of that, next week, I want you all to tune in because the apron I didn't get to wear this week, I'm wearing it next week. And I'm going to give you some Thanksgiving recipes from my cookbooks at home. So you want to tune into that. This is going to be exciting. I might even swap one of the menus from Wolfgang Puck Restaurant and share with you what they're going to have on their Thanksgiving menu. And they're located in MGM Grand, Detroit. So you want to pay them a visit, tell them I sent you, Anthony Howard. What are you preparing?
Well, I'm going to prepare some side dishes. I haven't quite decided as to what that's going to be yet. I have to kind of talk with amongst the other women within my family and divvy up the responsibilities and see who's going to be responsible for what.
What are the more notable Greek dishes?
Well, when it comes to the holidays, we follow the traditional American tradition with, the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the green bean casserole, but we also like to throw in our own twist. So, for example, you'll often find spinach pie. My mother makes an amazing Greek dish called pastizo, which is like a Greek lasagna per se. It has noodles and ground beef and bechamel sauce.
Wow.
It is absolutely delicious. And then, of course, for the holidays, we make a lot of Greek desserts. Like there's these sugar cookies with powdered sugar called kourabiedes and baklava and
Baklava.
just amazing things. Just
Getting
amazing
really
things.
hungry.
Yes, I haven't learned how to make everything yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, let me tell you all this. I'm going home now. Now y'all gonna get a kick out of this. Now let me tell you what I'm used to on my table. Of course, the traditional turkey, candied yams. My mother cooks and she taught me how to prepare a really great green bean dish. Now you have to, it has Philadelphia cream cheese in it. So next week, tune in. I'm going to give you the rest of that recipe. But of course, it's not uncommon to see a little pot of chitlins on the stove for Thanksgiving and some other, really delicacy dishes that are really southern dishes. And I'm from the South. So I'm really easy to please. One of the things that I often do when I go out to dinner, I order the fried chicken because I'm from the. You just can't take Sunday dinner away from me, and that's what fried chicken means to me. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans. That's Sunday dinner. So the normal stuff: turkey, candy yams, and some kind of a green dish we usually serve. Also, cranberry sauce, and usually potato salad and deviled eggs. And we also will have different kinds of cakes and pies. Now, my sister is an awesome cook, and my sister Idris, if you're listening, you can give us a call. She called in last week, which was the first time she had called in, and it really was a pleasant surprise that she called in. So, I don't know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving, and so, but I just heard an invitation over there. You
You're
don't
always
think
welcome.
that? Thank you. Oh, I got 2 invitations. Oh wow! So that's gonna be great. Now, how do you actually? How much time do you all actually have preparing yourself for roles? And before you answer that, I must remind our audiences, in case you just tuned in, that we have Jamie Kyrgosopoulos and Alejandro Franks, and both of them are actors and actress, actor and actress. And so, how do you all prepare yourself for roles?
Well, I think, with voiceover, it's important to always practice, to always, I have scripts at home that I'm always reading, and just know, because you never know when the next job is going to be offered.
Okay.
So it's always important to just be prepared. And then, of course, when I receive an opportunity, for example, for a commercial, I'm given, the script, I may not have much time to prepare. I may be given the script that day. So it's, just having the confidence that and the skill that I, can fulfill the job properly. But in order to be prepared, it's just taking maybe 30 minutes out of every day and reading scripts that I have.
Wow. Alex.
I agree. I mean, you have to remember that it's a job, and we're there to work for, whatever production or project that might be. So, I mean, sometimes when you see actors, you want to, go up and try to get an autograph, but you can't really. Just remain professional and remember you're there for a job, and that's how I pretty much prepare. Just think of it as a job.
Now, I know that, and I mentioned earlier that I did a little acting role in high school, and that was more years than I dare say ago. But your scripts are certainly more detailed than what I received back then, I'm sure. So, is it much like a composition? For instance, as a musician, I can look at a staff, and sometimes they may have 6 staffs on one sheet of paper. Sometimes there's 3 staffs, and one is for the vocalist, one is for the piano, treble clef, one is for the bass clef. But in acting, is there different lines that give instructions on your behavior, and then is there another line for the words you ought to remember?
Well, I'm with the scripts for voiceover. Of course, to get into the mood of who I am when I'm acting. Whether whether I'm an actual character, whether I'm doing an advertisement for a commercial. It depends on who my audience is. And so that kind of gives me an idea as to how I'm going to inflect my voice and act with my voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Jamie. There's a lot of direction that the director will give you. I haven't had any speaking roles, so I'm not really familiar with the scripts. But of course, I'm around people that are always shooting their scene, and I learn from them.
So, well, that's really interesting. So you are really studying the script And from what you derive in the story, and when you feel the set, once you're on it, you begin to evolve into that character. And if the director wants something different, then you modify your behavior. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Yes. Yep.
Well, that is really interesting. That's really interesting. And are you required to remember the script verbatim, or like myself, I'm going back to being a musician. We think we know everything anyway. So musicians often have the luxury of improvisation. Do you get to improvise while you're acting?
Yeah. I think sometimes it's encouraged to improvise so that it looks more natural on screen. So it really just depends on what you're working on, I think.
And with voiceover, you know, a lot of times you are more behind the scenes, so you're not physically visible. So
Okay.
you know, I do have we refer to as the copy in front of me, and I'll mark it where I need to enunciate my voice, show a little more expression, kind of bring my voice down a little bit, and but definitely, you know, improvising, I do that, absolutely. You know, it's that one moment where you have to just let yourself shine and express yourself to the best of your ability.
Well, that's, you know, I can, if wow, not having the camera on you, I can really, listen, I can clown. So,
It takes a little bit of the pressure off.
yeah, you give me a voiceover. You know how you see people on television in the studio, and they're in there doing all kinds of things, singing all crazy and looking all crazy. But you know, I guess that's what you do to get in character when you are doing voiceovers. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's when I am behind the mic and I have my copy in front of me, everything else just kind of fades away, and I'm just in the moment, and I get into character, and I do my best to deliver whatever it is that the client is asking for, and to have fun. That's the most important thing, is to have fun.
Yes. Wow. Now, wardrobe requirements. Do you ever feel uncomfortable in the type of wardrobe that they supply? And what does it take for you to be able to keep the wardrobe?
Sometimes you are presented with uncomfortable clothes or scenes, but sometimes they work with you. If you're not totally comfortable wearing something, they'll switch you out into something else. But they do like the directors, they want you to look a certain way. So if I'm applying for this position, I have to go with what they want. But as far as keeping the wardrobe, like keeping it,
Yes.
we don't. I'm not sure what you mean about.
Well, we hear all the time that actors get to keep their wardrobe, and oftentimes they will ask them if they have certain props from the set. You know, that's kind of like
Yes.
memorabilia.
Yeah, sometimes we do get to keep our clothes, but and other props. I guess that's up to the production company. So
Okay.
I know when I worked on Oz the Great and Powerful, they had a yellow brick, and all the actors signed it, and I think that was raffled off to one of us, and my friend actually got it. It was really cool. But, and they gave us all hats. So
Oh, really?
yeah, casting crew.
For
hats.
Oz?
For Oz.
Wow. What does it look like?
The hat?
Yeah.
It's just a cap, but it's stitched in. It says the cast and crew of Oz 2011. So it makes you feel part of the team.
I'm trying to see what I could bum. Yeah.
I have a picture of it, though.
He said he has a picture he'll show me, so every time I want to see the hat, he'll show me the picture. And I'll tell you a quick funny story before we take one more break. A friend of mine, he's a musician, travels the world, and he had on a real sharp sweater one time. And so I said to him, wow, I think I can fit that sweater. And I like that. He said, I'll tell you what, I come around a lot. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna let you know how you can contact these actors. Use them for voiceovers. Use them for still pictures. Use them to use them. We'll be right back. I'm Anthony Howard. You tuned in to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. We're in the final 30 minutes of our program, and I am really so excited that I've had Jamie and Alex, a couple of very fine actors. They've just been hanging out with me. We've been having a really good time. And today's program, as I mentioned earlier on, is dedicated to the victims and to their loved ones around the world of Paris, France. We are in this together. And so, the songs that you've been hearing have really spoken loud, such as What a Fellowship, What a Joy Divine. It's really a fellowship between countries, which have been a joy. And I believe our president personified that relationship in his statements. So it's been a good fellowship today with Jamie and Alex. Now, we're going to get back to the acting in just a second. We talked about Thanksgiving. What are you all doing for Christmas?
I believe my mom's cooking again, so I'll be over there. See, I don't know how to cook, so I have to. I just come for the party, and I provide the music. I'll set up their stereo and do that, but not much cooking with me.
Okay, but do you have a special? Everyone gives gifts. Now, is there something special you want for Christmas?
Maybe a cooking set so I can learn how to cook.
Well, we were looking on my website, Wolfgang Puck. Have them come on there, and they can click that button that says Wolfgang Puck, and they can order whatever you want from him. And they have some really
He
good
has
things.
a really nice line, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was looking, and this is not an infomercial, but as I was looking on howardsplacemall.com in the home goods section, but no, they have a stove, and it's like a microwave, but it really cooks the food some 70 times faster than a than a normal oven. Can't get the words out. We've been talking about food and it just makes me really want to go eat. But yeah, that oven cooks the food like 70 times faster.
Yeah, I heard. I would love to buy stuff from Wolfgang Puck. I don't know how to cook, but I'm sure I can learn.
Right. So what are you doing for Christmas?
Well, traditionally my husband and I spend Christmas Eve with, his parents and his siblings and his side of the family, and then Christmas Day will be with my parents and my sister and her husband, and actually Christmas Day is my husband's birthday, so it's
really?
It is, yes, and so it's a very special day, and we have a lot to celebrate on that day, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, when I was a kid, a couple of things happened on your birthday. One is that you got licks. You got licks for your birthday, so he gets a gift and licks for his birthday. You know what? I'm looking at this oven. I'm really thinking about getting myself. It says flavor infused, cooking up to 70% faster, and it has a special low price of 5 easy payments. And it's really interesting. I'm looking at it, and I have an oven that does all this, but it's not his. I never knew that you could put a turkey in my oven. Wow. So, do you know what you want for Christmas?
I would love to take a vacation somewhere and go somewhere warm.
Really?
I really would. I would really love just to go somewhere to just a beautiful tropical location and just relax, and yeah, that's what I would love.
Hawaii is on my bucket list.
I've never been to Hawaii, but I hear it's beautiful.
Right. I tell you, I know that. I'm sorry. It happened, I'm going to tell you what I was just thinking. I'm going to tell you all so you all can call those men with those white coats if you like. When we they have legalized. I'm getting hot now. They have legalized marijuana in the city of in the city of Detroit. So no, I'm not going to Hawaii for the grass skirts. I couldn't have it. That just, I'm a silly man. What can I say? But Hawaii is one of my destinations. And wouldn't it be something if I could go for Christmas?
Well, you never know what could happen.
Right.
You never know how things fall into place in life.
That's true. I was actually at a conference. I was at a conflict resolution conference in Miami, Florida. And I was down there one year at Christmas time. And it was so odd being in the hotel, seeing Christmas trees, and I'm walking outside in 80, 90-degree weather. It was just so interesting seeing that. It's almost like, it's not Christmas.
I've had a similar experience. My husband and I spent Thanksgiving one year in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And we had a wonderful time. We were there with some very good friends, but it's definitely a different feeling compared to being home for the holidays.
Yes. There's something about the tradition of family, great food, hanging around, and visiting people. I remember when we used to go from house to house just visiting family.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's fun. That's what the holidays are all about. Is not that we shouldn't spend time with our loved ones all year round, but it's just the energy is different around this time of year, and you feel more connected with your loved ones and what really is important.
Yes.
Yeah, whether you have a big family or a small family, it's important to spend time with them on the holidays. I think I have a small family here in Michigan, so we always get together for the holidays. It's great.
Where's most of your family?
They're back in South America, in Ecuador, where my mom's from. And then my dad, he's from Argentina. I have family over there as well.
Okay. One of the really great things about today, this 21st century medium of communication, as we know, streaming is one of the benefactors of 21st century, but also the iPhone and other phones. I have a BlackBerry. They are recipients of 21st century technology. So whereas before you would call people on the phone, now your phone has picture. So you can call your family in Ecuador, much like Skype, but it's so convenient now. You just hit a button on your phone and now they can see you and you can converse and actually see each other.
Exactly. Technology is great. I remember when I was small, there would be like long periods of time where my family and we wouldn't be able to see each other, but now with Skype and these video chats, we can do that every day. So I really like it.
Yeah, it's amazing how there's so many different mechanisms of communication that we didn't have years ago, and or even when we look at television. So the community that we are in now, meaning the acting community and entertainment industry, is burgeoning in different areas because the need is so keen. And it's amazing how immediate things are. So when you all speak of the time frame, I'm going back to the acting, when you are speaking of the time frame to learn scripts, does it depend on the volume, meaning how much you have to learn, or does it depend on the director that wants to get this project moving relatively fast, so they would tell you the length of time?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, the more lengthy a script is, for example, if, in the future, like I had mentioned, I would love to do voiceover for animations. Of course, that's a movie, so that's going to take much longer, and there's going to be more time invested in preparing for that. And then there are commercials that I've done where they're very short commercials. I recently did
Okay.
a commercial that was 30 seconds. So I definitely really had to, speed up my voice, but at the same time remember to express my voice and in the way I was supposed to. So that was a little challenging, but it was fun.
Okay. All right, Alex?
Pretty much what Jamie said. A lot of rehearsing goes with that. Even if you have to work at a fast pace, that's kind of why, they hire you, because you're skilled at what you do. So it's always going to be there are always going to be a lot of changes in this industry. It could be last minute, and you just have to go with the flow.
I agree, absolutely.
Is there a preference? I know in music we call it genres of music that one excel in, but is there a certain type of a movie that you all prefer to act in?
That's interesting. I like these superhero movies. I think the big action ones are cool. Other than that, I'm not sure. Action films, for me, at least.
Okay.
I love commercials are fun, but I like getting more into a character that has a more lengthy script. Like, for example, something that's a little mysterious and suspenseful. But I also like doing things that are more whimsical and upbeat.
Sound like Murder, She Wrote. We're gonna pause. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Anthony Howard. Once again, welcome to Gospel Music the Traditional Way. And we have live in the studio,
Jamie Karagatsalis.
Alejandro Frank.
and there are two of Detroit's finest actors. If you need voiceovers, if you need actors, if you need models, they're going to tell you how you could reach them.
You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can also find me at jamieKaragatsalis.icanvoice.com.
You could also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Alejandro Frank. You could also find me on Mr. Howard's website, howardsplaysmall.com.
You know, that's so great, and it's such a wonderful. I've enjoyed you all being here today, and you know, I keep looking over at my computer screen here, and it's almost like I am texting while I'm talking. You know, so I got to start closing this thing down. But no, we've had a good time. You still have a few minutes to give us a call at 248-796-8241. So. I have to ask you, what is this about action movies? Are you a daredevil?
Yeah, you could say that. Action, I love action, and I'm also a fan of suspense too. So those two type of movies I gravitate towards. I just enjoy it.
Do you like comic books?
Yes, I have a few comic books.
So do you think the comic books led to you? I'm sure they're Marvel comics, right?
Yes.
And so did that have any kind of influence over your liking the action of
Batman. I've always been a fan of Batman, so that's sort of why I was looking into that movie.
Okay.
Do you guys like Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
it's my
Movies like that
favorite.
are fun.
I know that I am closer to 100 than you are, but I remember with Batman, every time they were hit, pow would pop up on the screen and all those things. So I'm from that era of Batman, okay? So you and these suspense movies and how did you come about that?
Well, I think when I embarked on, the voice acting experience, and I was giving a variety of scripts to act with,
Okay.
that's when I learned what I really enjoyed doing. And, I remember, reading certain scripts that were a little suspenseful and mysterious, and I thought, oh, I really like this. This is fun.
Now you know what's interesting is, I have to remember that this is a Christian broadcast and it's a Christian network, but I can see. Can't you all see her being Joan Collins? I mean, a very elegant lady Joan Collins is, and you remember back in the day but she was a cunning figure. Can't you see yourself doing something like?
Maybe.
I used to love Falcon's Crest. That was my movie.
I did too.
Yes.
I did too. My mother and I used to watch Falcon Crest. Yes, and a variety of other shows that were on during that era. Yeah.
And see, she is so jovial. That's why I said that. Put her in something totally different than her natural character. I think that would be just a real test of skills and a real treat to see.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's fun just kind of getting into a character that someone who I'm not, and just having fun with it.
Now, have any of y'all had any formal training in acting?
I did, yes, with through a voice acting organization.
Okay.
And that's how I stumbled upon this organization, and I took a class, and when I discovered, a little bit more about the profession, it was very intriguing for me, and I was trained, and here I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had one class in college. It was a theater class, and there was a lot of improv there, so a little bit of formal training too.
Well, that's great. That's one of the real attributes of being good at whatever it is you do, using your God-given gifts, but then going just that little step further, that is something that will really accent that gift. We gotta go. I want to thank you all so much for coming out today and just hanging with us here at Gospel Music the Traditional Way. And as we go with the music of Ron Otis in his CD up front, you can download that at www.imusic-media.com. Hold to God's unchanging hand. God bless the people of Paris, France.